Still wearing my hat.
It doesn't matter. People are gonna think you're a douchebag regardless of your hat or not. Ugh, that's alright. It's true. It is. Okay. Well, another episode of Big and Stupid Game Reviews. I'm Stupid J.
Big Mike.
What are we reviewing today?
Today we're reviewing Aliens Colonial Marines. It's a game.
Well, like usual, we'll start with what we like. And I'm going to start with multiplayer. And because that was the most fun I had in this game. Leveling up is good for both sides. I think 4 different modes of play. I didn't get to play as much as I'd liked, but it's a blast. Controls are tight, maps are big, and it's fun. It looks like crap, but other than that, multiplayer was easily my most fun part of this. I really, the whole time I played this game as a whole, all I could think of was playing like Call of Duty. Because I'm like, oh, I'm playing a shooter that I'm not completely interested about this story, but this isn't about a story, this is about multiplayer. That's what went through my head the whole time. So I'm like, I'm going to keep coming back to play the multiplayer and be different aliens and be different Marines, and that's fun. But after I played the story, I'm like, oh, so I beat it, huh? Okay. And I know everyone flips out about endings from the Mass Effect 3 thing, but this is the most kind of like, good job, Marines, you beat it, the end. And that's basically the end of the entire game. And when you fight the Alien Queen, which you know is going to happen, and you're like, yes, I'm going to fight the Alien Queen. And they're like, you don't really fight the alien. You got to pull switches here and there. And then it goes into a CG sequence. Oh, yeah, that's not a boss fight at all. No. So, the controls are tight. I had no issues with the controls at all. I like the leveling up. I like the challenges. And the AI was surprisingly good. Surprisingly. There were times where I'm dying and I would run away and I would come back and they killed everybody. My AIs killed everybody. That was pretty cool. Plus, another thing I liked was I like how it was a little bit more old school, where you actually had to collect health packs. You actually had to collect your armor, and you couldn't run and gun and then wait for your health to come back. No. Even if you didn't have armor, your health will go down twice as fast. I liked it. It made me, it brought back some more of the old school ways. That's it for good, for me.
I didn't play the multiplayer at all because by the time I was done with the story, I was just like, I can't play this anymore.
I understand. It wasn't easy for me either, but I kept hearing how good it was. And I kept hearing how much fun everyone was having with the multiplayer, and it's fun. It's ugly, that's for fucking sure, but the multiplayer is really fucking fun.
I had this, when I started this game.
You didn't want to play?
No, I did.
Oh.
Because, I like horrible games. So I was like, alright, this is horrible. And then I started playing it and I was like, it gave me the feeling of Doom 3. Like, I sort of felt like I was playing Doom 3, kind of how it looked, and like you said, with the armor collecting and the health power-ups, but it was kind of like playing Doom 3 walking through a swamp. Because the controls were, I don't know what game you were playing, but the game I was playing, when I hit the stick to look over, it went, it was like playing as an 80-year-old.
Were you zooming
Marine.
while you did it?
No, just walking around.
Yeah, I did have issues.
It felt soggy. I have no other word but that. It felt swampy. And then I was like, well, like I said, it was Doom 3-ish. It was dark and, sort of, you're on the spaceship and there's biometric stuff going on, the aliens, and then I'm like, well, at least I'm playing a shooter where I'm killing aliens instead of hiding behind cover and shooting at other soldier guys. And then what happens? All of a sudden they're soldier guys and I'm behind cover shooting at them, and I'm like, first of all, why do they keep making the Aliens games shooters? It's like they've never seen the Alien movies. The Alien movies are not action movies. They're suspense, thriller movies. You barely see the aliens. When you do, they're in the shadows. Where are they coming from? It's suspenseful. In all the Aliens games that they make, it's like, oh, here's 30 aliens coming at you, and the 7 dudes that you're with are all gonna shoot at them all at once. It's like, why are you putting the alien's name on it? You may as well just call it generic space shooter 70.
No, this is definitely a shooter with aliens in it. And I'm glad you actually brought that up, because it reminded me of the other good point I liked, was the level where you actually get glued to the wall, like they always do for the facehuggers, and you escape, and you have no weapons, and you have to, in the dark, sneak. That entire level was awesome.
Yeah.
Because it was like, that was probably the only time I was, well, I don't want to say creeped out, because this game is not scared. I was hoping to be like scared or startled a little bit, and it doesn't happen.
No.
But that was the only time where I was actually on the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh, here we go. I have nothing. I have no health packs, no armor, no guns, no lights. I literally have nothing, and you're in the hive alone. And I specifically remember your buddy calls you up, and he's like, don't make a sound. That's okay. And then when you see them, you have to stop. And I remember at one point I wasn't paying attention, and I stopped because I saw something moving. And I'm just waiting, and I looked, and there was an alien in my face, and it's like doing a sniffing thing. I'm like, this is awesome. And then it like walked away. I'm like, this is badass. And glad because that was easily my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, I thought that was it, really and cool. I already hated it by then, so I didn't even. But yeah, I mean that part was.
But you're right. It should have been more like that.
Yeah, it was the only thing that gave me any sort of feeling that I was in any sort of alien environment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just Doom 3 with crappier controls.
You're on the ship, and then the bad guys sabotage it, and then it crashes. So now you go into a lab. Then you escape the lab to get onto another ship, and then from that ship, you go back to the planet, and you go into another lab. You were fighting a bad evil corporation as Marines with some aliens mixed in, is pretty much what the game was.
Yeah.
And it's sad, because in all, I enjoyed it. I had fun playing it, but I could totally understand why this shouldn't be an aliens game. I can totally see where you're coming from.
I would have loved this game if it would have came out in 1999. It would have been a great game. But it didn't. It came out in 2013, so it was a shit game. It was a shit game for assholes.
And Mike knows when it comes to people being assholes. So, I have a feeling that's pretty much it for you.
That's it. That's it. I played Doom 3. I like Doom 3. Quake 4. It sort of gave me that feeling, even, I mean, the fairly crappy controls, the fairly crappy look of it.
Yeah, it really should have looked better, and it does look bad.
And for a Gearbox game,
yeah, guys,
come on, Gearbox.
Guys who push the limits to making games look bright, colorful, or just different in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I was so happy because, I thought Sega was getting back on track. They put out Vanquish is a Sega game. That other one that I liked.
The other one.
You remember that one that's like Gears of War? The one that's like Gears of War, except with the robots. Binary Domain.
Binary Domain.
That's a Sega game.
Which was a good game.
Yeah. So I was thinking, oh, good. Well, Sega Gearbox. It's got to be good, but it wasn't. It was horrible. It's terrible. Don't play it. Just don't.
Not at all?
Not even a little.
I definitely suggest waiting for it to drop in price. That's for sure.
It's not going to be
because no, I don't think it will be either, because everyone is hating on it, and it is getting bad reviews across the board by everybody. And
I love to give good reviews to things that everybody else doesn't like. But I just can't do it for this because it's so bad.
In the end, I did have fun playing it, and I enjoyed it. And I'm gonna keep playing this multiplayer because it looks like crap, but it's fun. It is, and I enjoy it. And I really like all the unlocks and the customization to your online characters, both Xenomorph side and human side. I really enjoyed it, so. But I'm definitely going to say this is a cheaper. You're going to have to wait. 20 max is I'm saying 20 max.
Wait 3 days till it's $16 at GameStop used, and then don't get it at GameStop. Find a local store to buy it at.
Do you have any local suggestions, Big Mike?
Well, if you're in the Reading area or Blandon, Plug and Play. And if you're up in the Allentown area, Lucky Funtime Video Games will probably have it.
Here we go. Always support your local retailers.
Local retailers.
That's right.
Never GameStop. GameStop is bad.
Unless they cut us a check. Then I'll totally support the shit out of them.
Not me.
I'll totally sell out. But I'll totally get someone to replace me. I know there's some fat barbarian dude that would fucking step up. No problem. Take over for me. You can call him Stupid Joe. It'd be great.
Okay. I will.
All right. Cool.
That's it.
There you
Don't
go.
play. What is this? Aliens, Colonial Marines.
It looks like outer space spaceship dildo.
It's Mass Effect.
That's what it. That's. This screen is giving me a Mass Effect feel, and that even makes it worse because Mass Effect is so great.